Welcome to Ramzan biology lectures. Please subscribe and also press the bell icon to receive updates of my lecture. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another video tutorial from Ramzan biology. In this lecture we will talk about the stomach function. In order the stomach function is both of the secretion and also is the physical digestion. So in secretion, the stomach survey is a digestion by the action of chemicals present in the stomach, while the physical is done through the contraction and relaxation of the stomach walls. So actually today we'll talk about the chemical digestion of the food, which is the secretion part. So actually the secretion of the stomach is done through the gastric gland present in the stomach. So first we'll talk about that this is the fundus part, this is the cardiac part, and this is the whole body of the stomach, while this is the pyloric part of the stomach, and then this is the first part of the small intestine. Okay, so gastric gland is folded throughout the whole stomach, and the gastric gland survey both is endocrine also, exocrine also, and also pericrine function. Okay, now how it serves endocrine. So an endocrine it serves is a secretion of gastrin hormone, which is secreted by the G cell, or also called as the hormonal cell. This is the master hormone which stimulate all the enzymes, all the chemicals present in the stomach in order to chemically break down the food into small particle, and mainly this hormone is present in this pyloric part. In this pyloric part, you can see here, in this pyloric part there are folds of the gastric gland which secrete the gastrin hormone, and then this gastrin hormone, of course, there are the blood vessels passing by. Okay, how it is secreted? When it is secreted by two ways. One is the chemically and second is the nervously. The chemically is like this, that when the food molecules reaches the stomach, this is the food enter into the stomach. So the message of this food is sent directly, it stimulate the food stimulate directly the pyloric part of the stomach, which secrete the gastrin hormone, and then this, of course, there are the blood vessel passing nearby like this, and then the blood vessels carry these gastrin hormone into the pores inside the stomach, and in the pores, gastric gland pores, there are the different types of cells. These are parietal cells, chief cell, mucosal cells, which secrete different types of chemicals, which does the chemically breakdown of the food. Okay, the second is the nervously. So and the nervously, nervously is usually outside from the body. When we haven't eaten the food and the food is in the front of us and we only see to the food, so our eyes is work as a receptor. So our eyes send the message of this food, that some food, delicious food is in front of you, you have to eat it. So this food, the message of this food is sent our central nervous system, CNS, and the CNS stimulate directly the gastrin hormone, which is secreted by the gastric gland and the pyloric part, in order to secrete the gastrin hormone, because you should to eat some delicious food in order to stimulate other cells of the stomach to digest that food. And this hormone is usually secreted in more amount when the food contain more protein molecules. So this hormone is mainly secreted by the increasing and decreasing amount of the protein present in our diet. Okay, and is secreted by the G cells, or hormonal cells, in the pyloric part of the stomach. And usually this hormone is the master hormone of all the chemical function of the stomach, because it stimulates all the gastric gland parts present in the stomach, the body, the fundus, the cardiac, and also in the pyloric part. So the next is the function of the exocrine. So exocrine, the stomach secrete the digestive enzyme. Endocrine was the hormone, but exocrine is usually the enzymes present in the stomach. And the exocrine function of the stomach is stimulated by the endocrine because it is a hormone. In the exocrine function, there are three types of cell. The first one is the parietal cells. So the parietal cells secrete HCl and IF, intrinsic factor. Okay, IF and intrinsic factor and HCl. So how we secrete HCl? So usually when the gastrin hormone, so this is a gastrin hormone, it stimulate the parietal cell secrete the HCl. How it secrete the HCl? The parietal cell, this parietal cell, for example, say parietal cell, it contain H positive ion plus ATP. It contain H positive ion and plus ATP. So when the gastrin hormone comes there, so it stimulates the secretion of H positive ion from the parietal cell by using this ATP. So the parietal cell secrete this H positive ion with the help of using ATP energy present in the parietal cell. So we say that every substance which contains H positive ion, hydrogen ion, this is called the acid. So usually the parietal cell contain H positive ion plus ATP. So when the gastrin hormone stimulate the parietal cell, it secrete the H positive ion with the help of using ATP energy. Okay, and the pH of the HCl is about 1 to 3. So it is very corrosive acid. The second is the intrinsic factor, and the function of HCl is to kill the germs, the bacteria coming through the bolus. So it kills the bacteria's germs. So the function of the HCl is to kill the bacteria and germs, and also another function you will study later. The second one is the intrinsic factor. So the function of intrinsic factor is also very important. So when the parietal cell is stimulated in order to secrete the intrinsic factor, so the intrinsic factor is mainly involved in order to enable the food, like this food. So the food is coming. When the intrinsic factor is secreted by it, it enable the chyme, which is then breaking down by the action of the chemicals, and the stomach and convert it into a chyme-like structure. It enable the chyme in order to easily digest it and also easily absorb it into the bloodstream and the small intestine. And so its function is to enable vitamin B12 to easily absorb it in small intestine. Okay, and the secretion of intrinsic factor is very important, because when the intrinsic factor is not secreted in normal numbers, normal amount, so it causes several diseases, because vitamin B12 will not easily absorb into the bloodstream, and therefore we will have the lack of the vitamin B12 in our body. So therefore it causes several diseases. The second cell is the chyme cells. So the chyme cell is mainly involved in the secretion of pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is a chemical, is an enzyme which are inactive. You can see here, there the gene part present in the pepsinogen. This part is usually used for being throwing the enzyme is inactive. So and it becomes active with the help of the HCl. So I write here is that when the gastrin hormone comes here, so this is a gastrin hormone. Okay, gastrin hormone stimulate the HCl, and it also stimulate the secretion of pepsinogen, but this pepsinogen are inactive. Inactive mean that they are not able to break down the large protein molecule into small chain of amino acids. Okay, so in that time the HCl act on the pepsinogen and convert them into pepsine, ectopepsine. Now pepsine are ready to easily break down the chain of the large protein molecule, like say protein molecule. So now the pepsine are ready to act on it and easily break down it into smaller chain of amino acids. Okay, now pepsine are again able to stimulate the secretion of HCl, so it is double. Okay, now the secretion of HCl is double. Once from the stimulating by the gastric hormone, second is from the stimulating by the pepsine hormone. So now the secretion of the HCl is double and the HCl amount will be increased in the stomach, and when the secretion of HCl is increased, so the converting of pepsinogen in active form to active pepsine will also be increased, and then the breaking down of the large protein molecule into smaller chain of amino acid will also increase, and this way the chemical breakdown of the food in the stomach will increase, and this way it will be easily to our body to easily digest the food. Okay, and so pepsine are mainly involved in the breaking down of the large protein molecule. It is to break down large protein molecules into amino acid chains. Okay, and secondly, these are also involved in the chief cell also involved in the secretion of gastric lipase. There is another chemical secreted by this is called as a gastric lipase, and the gastric lipase is involved in a little breaking down of the pairs present in the food, but mainly there is not digesting breaking down of the fats, because they are not able so much in order to convert the fat into the fatty acid plus the triglyceride. So therefore they are involved in little function of the breaking down large fats molecule. Okay, the third one is the mucosal cells. So mucosal cell is actually involved in the secretion of two chemicals, the mucus and the bicarbonate. So mucus is a semi-fluid chemical, semi-fluid substance that makes a coat-like structure in something like this is a stomach wall, so it will make a coat-like structure. You can see here it will make like a coat-like structure when they are secreted. It make like a coat-like structure. And why they make like coat-like structure? Because when the HCl are secreted, so before I mentioned that HCl have pH about from 1 to 3, so they are very corrosive, and therefore when they are secreted, so it may cause the degrading of the stomach walls. In order to prevent this degrading of the HCl, the stomach wall, the mucosal cells secrete the mucus, which are a thin fluid molecule substance that makes this coat-like structure and prevent the degrading breaking down of the stomach walls by the HCl, and then the stomach wall is not damaged. The second one is the bicarbonate. So mainly bicarbonate is a salty substance, salty chemicals which are involved in the killing of the germs, bacteria like the HCl, and as you can imagine that in the saliva secreted in the mouth salivary gland, it also contains some bicarbonate which kill the germs and the bacteria present in the food, and therefore they are also involved present in the stomach. So when the germ bacteria enter into our mouth through the food, so some of it are killed in the mouth, but when there are some remaining, so they move to the stomach, and then the stomach they are again killed by the bicarbonate secreted by the mucosal cell. So mucus are involved by the coat formation coating. They are mainly involved in the coating, while the bicarbonate are involved in the killing of the germs and bacteria. Kill germs. Okay. And the third one is the pericrine. So pericrine is mainly involved in the secretion of histamine. Histamine is in some enzymes or some chemicals that stimulate the secretion of HCl. So now the secretion of HCl is increasing because the pepsin, which are active now, they also stimulate the secretion of HCl, while the histamine also stimulate the secretion of HCl. So stimulate acid. Acid are the HCl present in the stomach. So they are involved in the secretion of histamine. The third one, there are also some in another enzyme present in the exocrine portion, and this enzyme is called the somatostatin. And this is secreted by the D cells. D cell present in the stomach, D cell. Just like they were secreted by G cell, this is secreted by the D cells, and they are involved in the inhibiting of the HCl. So now HCl are very functional because it is secreted by three things. One is the gastrin hormone, second is the pepsin, third one is the histamine, while somatostatin is involved in the inhibiting of the HCl in order to function normally. Okay, now we will come to the structure of the 1/4 of the body of the stomach, that how the cells are arranged, which are involved in the secretion of HCl, pepsinogen, and the mucosal cells. So you can see here this portion, a little portion, you can see here the screen. These are the pores present in the body of the stomach, and I have zoomed in there. You can see here this portion is called, you can see here this is called the pore of the gland, because this is a gland, gastric gland, so therefore they are called as a pore of the gland. And this red portion, whole red portion, this is called the mucosal portion, are involved as the mucosal cells secreting and involving the secretion of the mucus. The second one is the HCl cell. The last one is the pepsinogen cells. So you can see here that in the stomach the secretion of mucus is more than the HCl and pepsinogen. So, and the function of the mucosal cell is to make a coat. So therefore, in order to make coat from the whole wall of the stomach, they have to be secreted in more amount than the HCl and also from the pepsinogen. Now we only studied about the secretion, the chemical like in the food. So, and the function of the secretion, the chemical digestion, and under the secretion of these chemicals, the food is now converted from bolus into chyme. Before, in the food, this was called as a bolus coming from the mucosa. Now, and the secretion of different endocrine, exocrine, and also pericrine chemicals, the food is now converted into chyme-like structure, and then it passes to the another part of the digestive system called the small intestine, and then it is also break down into some other particle than the stomach. And in the next part, the food is now acidic. So the chyme is acidic because it have mixed the HCl. So now there will be secretion of another gland which will diminish the acidic medium and will convert into alkaline medium. We will talk about this in the next lecture. So I hope this lecture will be helpful to you, and if you have any doubt, any questions, you can mention in the comment, and please subscribe and share my lecture for the next upcoming lectures.